Hi, today I'm gonna bake rye bread. My rye bread recipe contains 300 grams of rye flour, 200 grams of wheat flour, 10 grams of sugar, 10 grams of salt, 10 grams of yeast, 150 grams of sourdough, 60 grams of rye kernels, 110 grams of olives, and 300 grams of water. The first thing I do is to mix water with my yeast and my sourdough. This is in order to get it dissolved, and the water is lukewarm. If it's cold, then it takes longer. If you can measure the water, if it's 35 degrees, very good conditions to work. When the yeast and the sourdough is dissolved, I put rye flour into the dough. Because I want to save 150 grams of dough to sourdough, I will mix this together first and take it off. So I mix this first. This is 150 grams. I will store it. I'll just put some water on top of it so you don't get a skin on top of it. This will be my sourdough for the next time. So just like this. Otherwise it would develop a skin on top of it. And now I put the rest. These are rye kernels with some herbs in it. I like to put herbs in my dough and my rye kernels. My salt and sugar. Salt and sugar are flavor enhancer, but sugar does also give the bread a brownish color, so you need a little bit. This is 10 grams of each. These are my olives. I put them whole. You can do what you want. Now my dough is going to be mixed for 10 minutes. The dough has been on here for 10 minutes. I'm gonna put it in a greased baking form. If you say that this is 4/4, then the dough must not come above half of it. Then it will raise to the 3/4, and when we bake it, it will not float over. Half of this form shall be filled. Now it's almost a half of it. I will leave it to raise for half an hour, 1 hour, and then I'll be oven. While the dough is raising, I put a moist cloth on it. You can also put plastic on it because then it will not dry the dough. I just leave it here to raise for about half an hour. My dough is finished raising. As you can see, it's 3/4 up. It's ready to be baked. I just do something here so the dough isn't gonna get holes in it. Dough is ready to go into the oven depending on your oven. Mine is a bit warm, so I bake it on 180. The kernel temperature has to be 98 degrees Celsius when the bread is finished. So we put it in the oven now. Now my bread has been in the oven for 1 hour. It has a kernel temperature in 97. I take it out now. I give the bread 15 minutes more in order for that it gets even. It's very hard here, but here it's soft. So if I give it 15 minutes more, it gets evenly hard all the way around. Now the bread has been in the oven for 1 hour and 15 minutes. What you can do now, either leave it for tomorrow and then slice everything all up, or you can cut it in half and freeze half of it, because then you can save it for later. As you can see, it's hot, really hot inside. But this is what you get. So I'm gonna freeze it, leave it to cool down a bit more, freeze it. This I'm gonna have today. This is flavored with some chili and olives and Mediterranean. Sometimes I put garlic in it, sometimes chili, real strong chili, but everything depends on what I have planned to eat next week. And I have in my freezer also bread with apricot, because I use it like something sweet things. I use it with butter and apricot jam as a dessert. But you can use whatever you want in this bread. This is a basic recipe because you want to get fibers. This is not a dark bread. So everybody can eat it, and you can eat it if you don't put olives. You can also just make it without olives, just with salt and sugar. Then you can use it for everything. This is rye bread.